Asinivusele senimukele masatla mahle namhlahlelweni Kusile breakfast show sibangakhulu ukuthana namhla ekseni ngikhethe kuvuka nathi kungilesihlanu. It is the 4th of November 2022 njengoba kungilesihlanu lamuhla uyathi ukuthi njalo ngabe lesihlanu sihlale sikhuluma donati indzaba ekubhadalwa kwemthelo naye communications director losuka khona Eswatini Revenue Service lamhla ke sidabe sikhuluma kabanti ngemkhankaso labasukumisile lobitwa ngokuthi unmasking tax corruption. Sidabe sikhulumisana nomhla ekseni nga 6:30 kuva ukuthi sithini kahle kahle masisithi unmasking tax corruption nokuva nje ukuthi ngavele mhlawumbe corruption yaloluhlobo elilimata kanganani umnotho welive laseSwatini. Sidabe sikhulumisana naye Vusi Dlamini lamuhla nga 6:30 bese kuthi ngale kwa 7 it's a Friday sidabe sikhuluma kabanti naye Cleopatra. Cleopatra ke she is a country music walapha ekhaya eSwatini. She's the first Liswati to be nominated in the Texas Sounds Music International Awards in 2019. Kanti ke uphinze wawina i-award this year enyangeni lephelile ya best producer. Waphinze wawina ke ngeminyaka wa 2019 i-award yalapha ekhaya eSwatini Music Awards MTN Swama for best country music. Sidabe sikhulumisana naye kuva kabanti ngawo achievements akhe njengaloku sekakhulile nje kule music industry. And of course sidaphinde sikhulumisane nalaba suka khona ka akhaswa ngemsebenzi lomkhulu wema Gospel Music Awards ayabuya nalonyaka dokumele ukuthi ma Gospel Music Awards endiwa ngiyo inhlangano yedenkholo iakhaswa. Sidabe sikhulumisana naye PRO kuva kabanti ngawo lomsebenzi. This year's awards inhlangano yakhaswa ibambisene nayo inhlangano iswaga kangangobe nje this year's concept will be focusing on advocating and promoting messages against gender based violence. Njengoba siwabonile nawo ama cases e-GBV abonakala kwangathi ayenyuka lapha ekhaya eSwatini kungasibo bomake kuphela kanti nabo bobabe sesiyawabona ama cases abo ekuvede ukuthi nabo bayahluku bedeka. Sidabe sikhulumisana nabo kuva kabanti ngawo lama awards ukuthi ngabe vele nshisekelo inganani. Sidakhumela ukuthi akhaswa inama gospel artists la around 250 so sidawuva ukuthi ngabe vele mhlambe tindzaba ama nominations dihamba kanjani nawo lo mcimbi utabe ubanjwe nini. Bese siphinde sikhulumisana nabo betemidlalo kuva kabanti ngato temidlalo lebetendeka this week and of course temidlalo leti tabetendeka kule mphela somvo lesiyakiyo with Fabrice Musonera ngale kwaloko nyalo saselkefu sitabene tindzaba tefuthi ecala.
Hey yo, this is DJ Cybers.
What's up guys, King J's here.
My name is Tripo Intellectual.
What's up everybody, my name is SK.
Hey guys, this is your girl Z.
This weekend Eswatini has been such an amazing show. For all the years, they've always supported all the local talents and all the local shows.
Catch This Weekend Eswatini every Fridays.
It's one of the best entertainment shows Eswatini.
So guys, you know what? This is the best show to have. Like, if you watch Swazi TV and you're a person who actually enjoys watching like musical shows that have a lot of content, that have good stuff, This Weekend Eswatini is your show.
For all the good vibes, all the good energy, make sure you tune into This Weekend Eswatini every Friday from 5:30 to 6:30. I'll say it again, from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m.
A 1-hour fun-filled train of entertainment. We are taking you from 5:30 all the way to 6:30 every Friday live on Eswatini TV.
And yes, of course, we are your #1 entertainment show in the kingdom of Eswatini. But you can interact with us on all social media platforms. We are at This Weekend Eswatini on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Lale Latina, we will definitely get back to you. This is your official weekend party starter.
I don't wanna go around singing songs that people don't.
I do the most.
Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni. Come on. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store. We're good together.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Athunze sivusele sakumukele nawe lo sanza kusivulela kulesikhathi sidaba kwatindzaba futhi ekucala. Mfanankulu Leopard uhulumende utihambisa imbili temfumvo kungako enda yonke imetamo yokuthuthukisa tikolo takuleli. Mfanankulu lebekatsi yamelelwe indvuna yetemfumvo Lady Howard uvete lokhu ngesikhathi kuvulwa ngekwemthetho lihola lelesekelwe nguhulumende lelibita imali lengetulu kwetigidzi letintsatfu esikolweni esikhulu sakasomjalo sezulwini lapho achaze khona ukuthi leli hola litawuba lusito lolukhulu kubafundi balesikolwa.
Indvuna yelitiko letemfundvo Lady Howard lebekadze imelele indvunankulu Leopard kulomsebenzi ithi leli hola belisidzingo kulesikolwa.
Sikubuka nje ukuthi kuyimpumelelo lenze kulesikolwa lokuthi baze bafike la kuthenini bakhe lihola lelihle kangaka futhi lelikhulu kangaka njengoba nje nabo basikolwa lesikhulu. Siyajabula silitiko ukuthi sitikhanze siyincenye la umsebenzi lona. Lihola lona libite tigidzi letingetulu kwemetigidzi letintsatfu. Uhulumende ufakile isandla ngeunit yakhe yaka micro projects.
Thishela nhloko wakulesikolwa Macanza Mamba uthi leli hola litawuba lisito lolukhulu.
Bantfa betfu seba bo 850 nakubhalwa i-exam bo form 5 baba bo 200 and something kude le class lengaba accommodate na form 3 wethu uyendlula ku 200 nababhala so lelo hola ke liyasita nakubhalwa ama external examinations.
Indvuna ithi uhulumende utawuchubeka isekelele esikolwa kanye nato tonke tikolwa takuleli etinhlangothini letahlukene. Edindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Nelisiwendla ngamandla kunaThemba Shabangu ezulwini.
Lihhovisi leliphina ndvunankulu lisemkhankasweni ukuthi uqale kusebenta umgomo wemthetho wokuvikela abantwana kanye nokuqinisekisa inhlalakahle yabo i-Children's Protection and Welfare Act yamnyaka wa 2012. Ikhuluma ngesikhathi kufundiswa kabanti emalunga elikomiti lelibuke kusebenta kwaleli hhovisi elinetimphunga liphina ndvunankulu Themba Masuku lithi lo mgomo utawucacisa ukuthi lo mthetho kufanele usebente kanjani kuqinisekisa inhlalakahle yabantwana kuleli.
Selethula inkulumo yalo kulomsebenzi lebekadze ubanjelwe ehotela leHilton Garden eMbabane liphina ndvunankulu Themba Masuku lithi uma timphunga tiwuconza kahle lo mgomo we-Children's Protection and Welfare Act wemnyaka wanga 2012 utawusheshe uphase etindlini tePhalamende kude inhlalakahle yabantwana ivikeleke kangcono.
Within the next few weeks we will kick off the adoption. There's pressure. People want to adopt. Even in my own office, the ministry, if you want to call the DPM's office a ministry, there are people who are saying, DPMs, if we not adopt, and there are those I meet in church, they want to adopt. There are those we meet in the streets, they talk to me about adoption. And I find this very important that when we look at the regulations, we can then allow this. Just in my last report to Parliament, we found that there were about 45 children who had been abandoned.
Lobuke mahhovisi aka-UNICEF kuleli Amina Mohammed uthi nanoma elive selendele okuningi iqinisekisa inhlalakahle yabantwana kepha kusafanele kuqiniswe etindzabeni tekucitsa kuhlukubeteka kwabo netemfundvo njengoba labaningi baphumile esikolweni nakubedvuka umkhuhlane i-COVID-19.
We want to strengthen the partnership. It shouldn't end by enacting laws and policies, but ensuring that we work together to push the buttons that are needed to be pushed within the society, within the kingdom, bringing in all the partners that we can work with, and these include the private sector, the parents, the children themselves.
Lo mgomo uchaza kabanti indlela lefanele yendiwe umuntu nakafise kuthatha umfana longesiye wakhe ahlale naye i-adoption kanye nekuthi tindzawo letigcina abantwana labadzingile kufanele tisebente kanjani kubala kulokunye. Edindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Nelisiwendla ngamandla kunaThemba Shabangu eMbabane. Lihhovisi leliphina ndvunankulu latisa sive kakhulukati bogogo nabomkhulu nalaba khubatekile ngeluhlelo lokufundzisa ngetindzaba tekuphepha ngekusebentisa tincingo tamahlalekhukhukhwini nangetebuchwephesha ikakhulu tindzaba tekuphepha lokufaka ekhatsi kuhola nangekukhipha timali kubamahlalekhukhukhwini. Lolu hlelo lutawube luchutshwa inkampani yahulumende lengamele tekuchumana eSwatini, i-Eswatini Communications Commission ibambisene nelihhovisi leliphina ndvunankulu kanye nelitiko letinkhulu kwezenkhundla nentuthuko. Kulomkhankaso lihhovisi litawenda lihlelo lwavela labo bonke labahola ngaphansi kwelihhovisi leliphina ndvunankhulu kutolungiselela kucala kwekuhola njalo ngenyanga kwabogogo nabomkhulu. Bayakhumbutwa ukuthi baphathe bomatisi bebuve national identity cards. Lolu hlelo lutocala esifundzeni saseshiselweni kunayo imiphakathi nemalanga lalandzelako. Mhla ka-3 November lolu hlelo luqale emphakathi waseTsheni kanye naseluhlekweni eNsubane nakavuma. Mhla ka-4 November leli bandla litabeli senkonka emaplotini ephangweni nasevimbizibuko. Kanti mhla ka-7 leli bandla litabeli sensalitshe ekwaluseni ebambitshe kanye nasedinabanye. Mhla ka-8 leli bandla litabeli semabona bulawe manyanzeni emchinisweni kanye nasedumenkhungwini. Mhla ka-9 leli bandla litabeli sezikhotheni engonyameni nakahoho. Mhla ka-10 leli bandla litabeli semampondweni ebulekeni kaShiba nasenkhungwini. Bese kuthi mhla ka-11 leli bandla litabeli sevusweni esimemeni kanye nasemasibini. Live leSwatini kanye nele Mozambique abuka indlela yokuthi singabuketwa kanjani isivumelwano seminyaka wanga-1976 lesasayinwa ngulamave etindzabeni tekusebenzisana kuletha imandi lahlobile kude lamave akhona kumelana nesimo sekugucugucuka kwesimo selitulu lobonakala kukhula ngelizinga lelisetulu kulamalanga lobambe kuba indvuna etemcebo waphansi nemandla Jabulani Mabuza ukuvete lokhu eRoyal Villas ezulwini ngesikhathi yemukela indvuna elitiko letemandi eveni Mozambique Carlos Mesquita levakashele kuleli nelibandla layo kutawubuka ukuthi lamave angachubeka abambisane kanjani etindzabeni temandi.
Indvuna yelitiko letekulima Jabulani Mabuza ithi kunesidzingo sekuthi live leSwatini kanye nele Mozambique lichubeke libukete indlela tekuthi yini lengentiwa kukhulisa budlelwane kutemandi lobucinisekisa kwekuthi lamave abanemandi lenele futhi lahlandekile. Lokhu ke ngekusho kwendvuna kufaka ekhathi kubuyeketa sivumelwane lasenta lamave ngeminyaka wanga-1976 lokutawuholela kwekuthi lamave akhone kuba nemandi lenele njengoba isimo sekugucugucuka kwesimo selitulu solo sikhula ngemandla.
I've been made aware, Honorable Minister, about the 1976 water sharing agreement that exists between our countries and also some of the gaps and the reasons that necessitated the need to review the agreement. The agreement indeed needs to be reviewed to cover new emerging issues such as climate change, improving information sharing, and also determine water development projects that can be done.
Indvuna yetemandi eveni le Mozambique Carlos Mesquita ithi kumgcoka kwekuthi emave lasenta ne-Afrika aqinisekise kwekuthi anemandi lahlandekile ngaso sonke isikhathi.
Para o qual desejo desde já sucesso redobrado.
Indvuna Jabulani Mabuza ithi lamave lamabili asebenda alandzela imigomo yenhlangano yemave lasenta ne-Afrika i-Southern African Development Community. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV kubika Nelson Ngamandla kunaThemba Shabangu ezulwini.
Indvuna yelitiko letekulima Jabulani Mabuza seyikhuthaze bomake nabantu labasha labangenele umncintiswano wamake longumlimi kuthi baluhambele embili luhlelo lwahulumende lokuhlangabeta abalimi ngetindvo tekulima. Indvuna bekhulumana kuhlonyeliswa labahambe embili kulomncintiswano walonyaka.
Umncintiswano wamake longumlimi walonyaka ungene esigabeni selishumi nesihlanu. Indvuna yelitiko letekulima Jabulani Mabuza nayibeka inkulumo yayo ikhuthete bomake ukuthi bachubeke nekulima njengoba elive liphophele ekuthenini kube nekudla lokwanele.
Itiko ke nalo liyanisupporta kakhulu sidimisele nekuchubeka sinisupporte futhi sichubeke futhi sitigcabe ngani nalapho kufanele sikhulume ngani khona. Siyabonga kakhulu ke nakuma sponsors ningatsinwa kubambisa lelo hlelo le program ningatsinwa ngoba kutsinwa kwenu kuyawusho kuyekelela sive empeleni kutsinwa kwenu kuyawusho ukuthi kwanini elicobo kungenteka nibe nenkinga yendlala.
Labahambe embili kulomncintiswano bathi kusebenta ngekutikhandla kunemphumela lomuhle.
Ngabasonzelela labo number 1 and number 2
kubuka kuthi benda njani ngaya ngobuka nasemasimini abo ukuthi kunjani ngase ngibuka ami
ngi-enlarge the scale lapho engilima kiso saba sikhulu and make sure ukuthi i-produce yami kuba lelunga kakhulu emakethe.
Bhekizwe Maziya lo melele tinkampani letisekele lo msebenzi ngetimali uthi tinkampani tiyadzinga ukuthi tesekele bomake nemanfombatana. Etindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni na Mbongwa Dube esitfokodvo.
Litiko letasekhaya latisa sive ukuthi enhlokovisi yalelitiko eMbabane itawuvalwa ngensimbi yesibili namuhla ngenxa yokuthi kutawube kufuthwa. Kusebenta lokutayelekile kubheke ukuthi kuchubeke ngemsombuluko. Litiko liyagcwalisa isiveni ngophathamiseka lokutawuba khona. Emalunga emave lange-55 yase-Afrika ahlangene eMountain View eMbabane lapho khona abambe umhlangano lohlose ukuphuma nendlela yokuthi live lisebenta njani indzaba yezivumelwano sekuthengiselana ngaphandle kwedingcabekelwano emkhatsini kwemave ase-Afrika. Umhlangano uvulwe ngumabhalane lomkhulu etiko letemabhizinisi nekuthengiselana lobekamelelwe ngumabhalane lomncane Cebile Nhlabathi. Nhlabathi uthi live leSwatini linemgomo lomkhulu wokuthuthukisa umnotfo walo ngekuthengiselana nalamanye emave phecelezi export driven economy.
Bantfu labakhona e-Afrika basigitsigitsi nengcenye 1.3 billion kani umnotfo walelivekati ungu-3.4 trillion wemadola asemelika. Mabhalane lomkhulu etiko letemabhizinisi nekuthengiselana lobekamelelwe ngumabhalane lomncane walelitiko Cebile Nhlabathi uthi live leSwatini leline bantfu lababalelwa kulabasigitsi netinkhulungwane letingemakhulu lasitfupha kubhekeke ukuthi lizuze kakhulu kulesivumelwano.
Kutasita kakhulu silivela kangwane ngoba phela noma ngabe nguphi umkhicito lesinawo ufuna sikhona ukuthengisa ukuze sikhona ukuthola imali futhi nangabe sikhonile kungena lesivumelwano lesi siyakhona nekusoma labanye balamanye emave ukuthi bete batoganekisa lakithi bakhona ukubenefita kuleti vumelwano lesi sitendlina lamanye emave. So lokuba kuletindzawo noma kulama economic communities lahlukene kuyasisita nasisoma bosomabhizinisi bete batokhona ukubenefita kuleti vumelwano lesi sidakhile.
Kanzi lokhulumele inhlangano yamhlaba ehlangothini lwetimali ye-Afrika Pathanai Chikwene uthi live leSwatini linematfuba lamahle ekutfutfukisa umnotfo walo ngetekuthengiselana.
There are a number of issues that are important. The government needs to come up with a coordination mechanism that brings together the key players, the private sector, the government itself, other trade promotion agencies within Eswatini.
Emave lasiphohlongo ase-Afrika lafaka ekhatsi i-Egypt, i-Cameroon, i-Ghana, i-Kenya ne-Mauritius, i-Rwanda, i-Tanzania kanye ne-Tunisia sekavele acalile kuthengiselana ngephansi kwalezivumelwano. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV kubika Sifiso Nxumalo ngise-Mountain View eMbabane.
Umphathi wenhlangano yase-Afrika lebuketilwane letigciniwe Kadukiwe sebunya uthi leSwatini lisibuko lapho bantfu be-Afrika bangakhona kutibuka khona kude baconze buve babo. Sebunya bekakhuluma ngesikhathi yavakashele elikhaya leSiswati eMandenga.
Umphathi we-African Wildlife Foundation Kadukiwe Sebunya uvakashele likhaya leSiswati eMandenga lapho afundziswe kabanti ngebuve bemaswati. Sebunya uthi live leSwatini lihamba embili lapha e-Afrika ekugcineni emasiko.
All of us as Africans, we can learn a lot from what we are trying to do here. It's a big plan for the government and the people of Eswatini, but it's exciting that the country is taking on all this effort to connect people, conservation and development, and that is how the future of Africa looks like.
Kubheke ukuthi aphethe luhambo lwakhe lapha even lolutawusita ngekuthenini lenhlangano ibe nebudlelwane nelaseSwatini. Itindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni naMbongwa Dube ezulwini.
Bamflabasha basembuluzi nemagciniselo batheleke ngebuningi babo esikolweni esiphakeme sasembuluzi kaHoho lapho khona belihlangothi lelibalo ngaphansi kwelitiko letekuhlela umnotfo lentuthuko bachuba luhlelo lokuhlunga labatawenda umsebenzi lomkhulu welibalo lomnyaka wa 2022-2023. Lomelele umcondzisi wetelibalo Simon Taylor uthi bayajabula ngelisasasa lelikhonjiswa bamflabasha ekubeni ingcenye yalo msebenzi.
Lubalo lweminyaka wa 2022-2023 luhlose ukutfola tinombolo tetekulima emaphandleni kubhekeke ukuthi lube tinyanga letintsatfu kusukela ngenyanga yeNgongoni lonyaka kute kube inyanga yeNdlovana eminyakeni lotako. Lomele umcondzisi wetelibalo Simon Thela uthi utawucasha abantu labasha labangetulu kwemakhulu lasitfupha lomsebenzi.
Ugcwele abantu labatofuna lomsebenzi sibabona nje bashaya elayini sibavele baphethe ma requirements abo lesawacela baselayinini bayobhalisela thenini nabo bathole lawo ma chance thenini bathole inhlanhla labo bahambe bangene kulomsebenzi welive. Kepha nje kuyisayela la indlulisela kuye uhulumende kuthenini ayibone le ukuthi sikhulu lesidingo semsebenzi kuthenini lamathuba emsebenzi anziswe abe khona bemanenge ngoba kube kungenjalo ngabe asingaka lesive ngabe sincanyana.
Bantfu labasha lababhalisele lomsebenzi baneshisekelo lenkhulu.
Lelifuba leli litasisita ukuthi sicashwe bese siyasebenta sikhone kondla imindeni yethu.
Excited kakhulu futhi nangibuka ngazuthi ngidalitfola lithuba nami ukuthi ngisebenze because ngake ngasebenza umsebenzi ofana nalona nasenda le housing population census.
Singibamfu labasha siyaqala nalokto applyela into lenjena nje.
Lubalo lwetekulima lwentiwa kanye njalo ngemuva kweminyaka lelishumi. Etindzabeni te-Eswatini TV kubika Sifiso Nxumalo ngisemsingweni.
Umcondzisi wehlangothi lotekululeka itiko letemfundvo Lindiwe Dlamini uthi litiko libuke kufaka tebulili etifundvweni takuleli ngenhloso yekucinisekisa ukuthi emantfombatane nebafana batfola kusekeleka lokufanele etifundvweni nakumakhono latabatfutfukisa. Dlamini bekakhuluma ngesikhatsi bahlangene nema-curriculum designers ezulwini.
Litiko letemfundvo solo liyachubeka nekuhlangana netinhlangothi letibuke tebulili ekuthenini tifakwe etifundvweni takuleli. Umcondzisi welihlangothi lwetekululeka itiko letemfundvo Lindiwe Dlamini uthi lokhu kutawusita ekuthenini kuliwe nebudlwangudlwangu lobukhona.
Sibuka ke tona tindzaba tebulili lokho kuthi ukhanza ukuthi itolo bokhanza ukuthi kunemisebenzi leyendiwa mantfombatana nebafana. Kepha nyalo siyabona lokho ukuthi ukhanza ukuthi sesibonile lokho ukuthi yonke imisebenzi noma ngangibani noma ubulili buni ungayenda. Lokunye siyabona lokho ukuthi ukhanza ukuthi lestrobo lamakhaya asikaqini in terms of discipline sekathela wayeka sekude lokho ukuthi kujubeleke imikhakha kube nemithetho lebekiwe bese ukhanza ke ukuthi bantfana sebenta ludlame etikolweni.
Litiko selihlangene nelitiko letemcebo waphansi nemandla lapho bekufakwa khona temandla etifundvweni. Etindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni navuma Inkosi Nzinisa ezulwini.
Imbita Swaziland Women's Finance Trust seyisukumisela uhlelo lokonga nokubolekisa imali ngokusebenzisa indlela tebuchwepheshe i-application lebitwa ngaheleza. Lolu hlelo lutawuba lusito kumalunga lenhlangano ecimphiseni izindleko tekuya emahhovisini ayo kuyawuthola lusito lwetimali.
Le application lebitwa ngaheleza itavumela loyo office kuba lilunga lakambita kwekuthi abhalise kubomahlale kokhukhwini. Lisekela lasihlalo wakambita Swaziland Women's Finance Trust iDokotela Phindile Dlamini uthi lenhlangano isukumise loluhlelo lekonga ngale application ngakubona bumatima le malunga ayo ahlangabetana nabo uma kumele athole usito lwetimali.
La eplan namhlanje besitolo nsha uhlelo lolusha ngathi phecelezi product lensha for emalunga ayo ukuthi emalunga angabe ahamba agibele aye emahhovisi ukuthi ayothola ama services ambita konga nekubolekisa. Sisebenzela MTN ukuthi lokhu sale kwendeka ngaleti ngcingo lesesinato phecelezi kuthiwa i-digitalization. So semalunga satawukhona ukuthi onge aboleke abe ahleli emitini yawo asebenzise letincingo lesinato noma ngangiluphi icingo noma ngilolo dzala esisungumgedlemba noma ngile smartphone lasakhona nyalo le app yethu itawusebenta kulawo ma platform aka mobile money aka MTN.
Lubekamele embasada weMamelika lokungona sekele tinhlelo takambita ngeluphiko lwaka USAID John Jack uthi lihhovisi lakhe liyathokota ukuthi lifake isandla etinhlelweni letihlose ukuthuthukisa bomake.
USAID funded Women's Employment for Economic Recovery or WEAR as you've heard
is improving women's economic participation here in Eswatini by addressing legal and regulatory shortfalls and creating greater economic opportunity through access to financial services and improved hiring practices.
Imbita Swaziland Women Finance Trust ibonge tinhlangano letisekele lolu hlelo lolusha lolusukunyisiwe. Letinhlangano tifake ekhatsi Grumman, Abba Rolling na MTN Eswatini. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV ngibonga Simagagu lebuhleni.
Kodemidlalo lokhulumela licembu Leopard Frank Rube uthi balicembu sabavele bawaqalile emalungiselelo emlende wesibili wenzebe ye-CAF Confederations Cup nelicembu le-AS Real Bamako laseveni laseMali. Rube uthi tidzingo titawubita ukuthi bakhona ukufinyelela edolobheni laseBamako eveni laseMali titawubita imali lilinganiselwa esigidini semalangeni 1 million.
Kulandzela ukuthi licembu le-Leopard lidlale ngekulingana nelicembu le-AS Real Bamako yaseveni laseMali endzabeni ye-CAF Confederations Cup enkundleni yesiveka somhlolo ngalesithathu lelicembu nyalo selicala emalungiselelo emlende wesibili. Frank Rube lokhulumela lelicembu uthi tidzingo tekuthi bakhona kuyofinyelela khona imali kutawubita imali lefika esigidini semalangeni 1 million emalangeni.
Nasicembu sishatana bude imali kakhulukazi imali eyamathikiti kakhulukazi imali yako kulala le ikakhulukazi imali ngawusho imali ama-allowances ngoba as you go with the boys you need to incentivize them khona funa ukuthi ubaphe kona ubanike kona batawuphakama especially sitawuphakama so siyacela eziveni semaswati siyacela etinkampanini siyacela kuma-individuals kulo mdlalo nje Fabrice nasi ubala imali yato tindiza lokusuka la ngoba nangabe kuhambe kahle tindlela sitawusebenzisa indiza etimbili khona Daka Sky khona Daka Ethiopian Airlines uma ke ukuhambeka nawo tibuka tonke letindiza tirenja ku 600,000-700,000.
Umlente wesibili utawudlalwa evikini lelitako khona eBamako imali lapho khona iRoyal Leopard idzinga ukunqoba lomdlalo noma ke idlale ngekulingana ngemagoli amabili ngala nangale noma ke langetulu kulawo kude ukuthi ichubekele esigabeni sema-group stages. Lobikela umsakati eSwatini TV temidlalo ngilinda Dlamini kanzi umbiko uhlanganiswa nguFabrice Msonera eMbabane.
27 minutes after 6 Dr. Selke funa sibuya sidabe sikhulumisana na Communications Director ka-ERS sikhuluma kabanti ngemkhankaso i-unmasking tax corruption.
1, 2, 3 shayibhola. Bola. Baze baphela buhlungu bami bengingatholi banibani. Manje senginayo umuntu engixoxa naye, ngisidlala naye. Manje ngiyayibonga nahlelo lwa foster care program. Lolwangilethela wena mfana wami. Namhla senginalo nami uthundulo lwami lwakusasa. Sengiyade ukuthi sekukhona umuntu engihlala naye lesixoxa naye.
Bantwa bethu foster care help raise the future bethembethile.
Pay your TV license quickly and easily with MTN Momo. Simply dial *007 *3# and select option 8 for TV license. Enter your national ID number as your reference and the amount you wish to pay. Then enter your PIN to confirm your payment. Once your payment has been made, you'll receive a confirmation SMS of your payment. If you're a first-time payer, you get another SMS for your TV license. So legalize your entertainment from the comfort of your home. Pay your TV license the easy and convenient way with MTN Momo.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
I do the most. Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni. Come on. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store.
We're good together. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Asimukele sikuvuselana losanza kusivulela lo mhla ehlelweni yokungilesihlanu yathi ukuthi njalo ngabolesihlanu sihlala sikhuluma dona tindzaba dokubhadalwa kwemthelo naye communications director losuka eSwatini Revenue Service namhla ke sikhuluma kabanti ngemkhankaso labawusukumisile evikini eliphelile lobitwa ngokuthi unmasking tax production. Sisivele sinaye Vusi Dlamini losuka khona ke singosa sikuvusele siphinde sikumukele lo mhla yet again. So today we're talking about this campaign that you have launched. So nasikhuluma nje tax corruption Nkosi sikhuluma kanje kahle kahle ngoba kusiniketa nje leso sithombe.
Yes, thank you very much. I-tax corruption asibuyele emuva mhlawumbe ku-corruption in general ngokuthi uma sikhuluma nge-corruption sisuke sikhuluma ngengohlakalo kepha-ke lapha sikhuluma specifically in relation to tax issues or in relation to the work that we do as Eswatini Revenue Service. Siyati ke ukuthi vele inkampani yahulumende sisebenza ngemali, so lapho kunemali khona ke noma lapho kudzingeka khona ukuthi kubhadalwe ukhanza ukuthi kuhle kuba khona lapho kuba nengohlakalo khona. Kungaba kusho nje ukuthi vele from the beginning nayicala iEswatini Revenue Service in 2011 we established an office specifically to look at issues ukuthi indzaba ye-corruption ilandzeleleke ngaso sonke isikhathi. We've got what we call our internal affairs unit. That unit specifically works on dealing with issues relating to corruption in the area yaga tax.
All right. So I assume ukuthi niba nawo lama cases lawa ukuthi vele bantu kube nale corruption leyo noma inkohlakalo lecubekako. Ngoba kusiniketa nje ama examples ukuthi yendeka kuphi le corruption is it among inkampani thide noma mhlambe nakhona la ka IRS yendeka noma is it between a company nemhlambe ne staff saka IRS?
As they always say, corruption would involve two people. Basically, Google less likely we could say ungaba corrupt uwedwa nje kusho ukuthi kuba khona lapho utawuba na someone involved. Lo mkhankaso lona lesuqalile the campaign is focusing on two things basically, or two areas. It is focusing on tax corruption that can happen between a taxpayer out there with colluding nomage agu corruption together with an employee of the ERS. We have seen it happen in the past where you will find that ngibekise kuyendeka ngalesinye isikhathi ukuthi umuntu ufuna kungenisa le doda impahla eborder. We have seen situations in reality where utawuzama ngayo yonke indlela ukuthi umthelo lokufuna awubhadale nami ngabe angenisa le doda impahla ungabi ngilo kufanele kube ngiwo lokusho ukuthi azame ngayo yonke indlela ukuthi awunciphise ngokuthi akhollude na any person that possibly works at the border. Siyathi ukuthi border kusebenza abantu labanenge ngekwehlukana, kune staff saka ERS, kune maphoyisa, kune baka agriculture, kune bantu labanenge that are working through the border system. So though we know that kunema systems that are in place to try and ensure that doesn't happen, but human beings are human beings. You cannot be 100%. So CIS kubone vele ukhanza ukuthi labanye bebazama kungenisa leto timbahla maybe ngandlela tsite sekunekudiziswana kuze leto timbahla mhlawumbe tingene. We have seen it happen, and it's the campaign lena is trying to then say siyacela ngoba ekugcineni it comes back to bite you as a business person, because if you are using the border as an example on a daily basis, and then you have got this one way of make sure ukuthi ukholluda na someone kuze ungenisa timbahla, someday it will catch up with you, and unfortunately then it means we have to go back all the way. What we have seen is, as we started this campaign, maybe even previously, some people will actually come forward and report ukuthi sikhanza kulukhuni kusebenda mhlawumbe nasasebenda again because kunanaku lokwendekako lokwenda kwekuthi sigcine sitikhanza senda into mhlawumbe lokungakafanele yendeke.
So kwendeka kakhulu lemahekeni.
It's not only there. What we have also seen, which is quite sad, is a situation where maybe loyal taxpayer noma leo client yethu will ngenxa yokuthi mhlawumbe unaleso sikweleti utata ikhanza assessment lapho khona uma kufanele asibhadalele leso sikweleti akhulume nalomunye mhlawumbe lo ngekhansi kithi ukuthi utamsita kumnciphisela leso sikweleti and angati ke ukuthi kuye kwendekene behind the scenes, but unfortunately because we are using computer systems here, later on we are able to discover those things ukuthi ngathi kukhona lebekwendeka. So what we want to emphasize or warn our taxpayers on ukuthi noma mhlawumbe umuntu angachamuka kuwe ukuthi utakunciphisela sikweleti, the reality is that sikweleti will never go away because eventually our systems are able to detect ukuthi kukhona lokwendekile lokungakafanele kwendeke. The mali lebe ijule bekufanele uyibhadale you will eventually pay, and utawukhanza ukuthi mhlawumbe so utikhanza so ubhadala imali lenengi. One, that is fraud. I think it's a serious offense because it's a tax fraud. And the other reality is that if utholakala in a fraudulent situation, vele it's a serious case of tax evasion that and sibonile maven lamaneng lapho khona itingapane letsebenta tindzaba temtselo vele tiyaye titsatsa bantu tibamixe nasetinkantolo to actually demonstrate ukuthi you are not expected to be doing fraud in as far as tax is concerned.
Okay.
And this is for both the staff member, but as well as you will find it with the taxpayer.
Okay. Njengoba usho ukuthi kunema systems mhlambe la khona lenawo la khona kubona ukuthi kukhona lo sekungahambi kahle la. Ingavela mhlambe kuleso sikhathi nje kusachubeka isachubeka leyo corruption. Nile mala kanganani nini naye taxpayer le mala kanganani. Nekubuta nje ukuthi vele thatha isikhathi singanani lokubona noma mhlambe ni rely kakhulu ezivende sitakhona reports ukuthi okay ngibone kwendeka nabucala nabo mhlambe ngibekise border.
We do rely on people reporting. That's why we have got this campaign. But our systems also, because remember, my computer systems in doing the work that we do, we are able to detect what would say lana ngathi kukhona mhlawumbe lokwendekile lokungakafanele kwendeka, and then we go immediately and investigate what is happening. Particularly because you know the reality is that people that are doing these things sometimes advanced, you will find that you will discover a little bit later, but the reality is that eventually you will discover, but because also computers, computer systems anayo yonke le trail, you are then able to go back and say, oh, what exactly was happening. So that affects the business at the end of the day. That's why we encourage my business because they should stay away. And if there are people within the ERS that are enticing them to do it, we see by encourage abaku report logo. But also on the other side, if there are some of our staff members nabo siyafundzisana within the ERS ukuthi kupheka ukuthi sitiphathe njani as staff members if kwendekile mhlawumbe kwaba nemtheli loku entice ukuthi wende tinvo tsite kuze umendele ema favors, report that because it is fraud in itself.
So ngifuna cabanga ukuthi velele namhlambe yemfo leni ibonile neng ARS ukuthi kathi yaqala kwendeka njengoba sokuchaza nje kubuda ke lokuthi ngabe sekabanjiwe lo muntu mhlambe leso sebenzisa IRS naleyo taxpayer sekabanjiwe kusebenzela leyo tax fraud ingabe yini bese yalandzela bayaboshwa obviously kwendekani ku taxpayer tobhadala ima penalties kuleyo mali bayasolo angabhadali mhlambe athenga lo leso sebenzisa IRS bese kwendekani nje after ukuthi babanjwe laba babili.
Yeah, I think one definitely because from the time when we started using ERS 2011, our code of conduct has been very clear on this thing. So when you get employed, you get that copy of the conduct. Good, see how are you supposed to be conducting yourself as an employee of the ERS. And one of the key things, let's say the promoter, which is even very clear, Guma values add is the issues of integrity. So because sifuna Guma ikashwa, as we collect the taxes that we collect it in a book. So that is very important. Such that nangabe kwendekile vele watfolakala ukuthi so hambe against le migomo lengikhuluma ngayo ikakhulukati our code of conduct. You have to go through a process, and we as an organization we frown upon it, and we normally would take action. Unfortunately, you find that some people end up losing their jobs if they are found to be guilty on these issues, which is why we really say let's stay away from it. Let's ensure that we do things accordingly. It's the same with the taxpayer, because it is fraud, and if it is fraud, we do take people to task, and we take them to court, but the penalties would even be heavier, because my penalties they are quite steep in the when it comes to issues of importing goods at the border. Our Customs and Excise Act would state that if you're found to have evaded tax, the law would allow us to go to 3 times the value of the goods. Now, that is how harsh it is, and I think if you've gone against the rules and waba fraudulent, that means you are likely to get the high penalty, the high end of the penalty, because deliberately you went out and wanted to defraud the state. 3 times the value of the goods. If the goods are 100,000, that means penalty would go to up to 300,000. That kills your business. So stay away from doing it. Do what is right. And if you see there is something that you are if there is something that you see ngenda kwakuthi ukhanze mhlawumbe kuleso simo leso ukuthi ngendeka ubonakale so ungena kule involved, report it so that you don't find yourself in that situation.
Okay, so ngifuna ukubotela nankosi ukuthi senimbambile vele sinamix enkantolo wabhadala lawo ma penalties waphuma ejele. Usangakhona enichubeka nenkampani yakaphenza khona kubuyele emuva abhadala kahle umthelo. Sengendeka invele lokho ukuthi niphenze nemthembe nani ukuthi vele utayilandzela yonke imithetho yekubhadala kwemthelo.
I think we have what we call the taxpayer charter, and one of the key things that we say is that one, you need to be treated fairly, and if for instance, let's say sikupatalisa lawo ma penalties, you pay those penalties, your business is able to continue running, it will continue running, and ungeke size sithi business yakho akufanele iqhubeke, but as long as you have paid, ingandolo nangabuyile khona yakugweba, but wabhadala as well what is supposed to be paid, we would expect that you continue running your business. But so let's say another element the reality is that vele, in terms of our risk engine, we will see you as someone that is risky, which means we'll continue to closely monitor.
Definitely. Okay. So ngifuna ukubuza ukuthi njengoba siyathi ukuthi vele kubhadalwa kwemthelo kufaka sandla ekufukuleni umnotfo welive, ngabe vele mhlambe bona lobucala lobu noma lenkohlakalo labaye babende bantu kukulimata kanganani nje umnotfo?
It's actually corruption siyathi ukuthi ibulala kanjani economy at any given point in time, and that's why we even tax corruption, we frown upon it, because it says there's people that would be running business in this country, not doing what they're supposed to do, not contributing. It means they're not contributing to anything that the government is expected to be doing, yet expecting to do business in the country. Then it destroys. But it also destroys the whole culture of paying our taxes, which is why we emphasize people, if they see these things, be it emisebenzini labanye, they report to us ukuthi mina ngisebenza la ngisebenza khona, I have seen they are doing 1, 2, 3, and then you find that we then act, go there, discover, and then start engaging with that taxpayer to ensure that they face consequences emthetho.
Okay, njengoba usho ukuthi lemkhankaso oqale last week, have you started receiving calls ngokuthi ngabe mhlambe abantu labafise ku reporter, can they do it anonymously noma mhlambe baphocelelele ukuthi badisho ukuthi babobani, they also do it physically noma mhlambe ikhona toll free line lapho khona bangakhona kubika khona lenkohlakalo?
Yes, the reporting is ongoing. I think we are seeing good numbers. People are reporting involved in Ndegako, and we have our toll free number, which is 800-8000. Banga senda ngisho email those that are comfortable. Go internalaffairs@ers.org.sz. Babige whatever. but you can gule toll-free yethu, you can decide if you want to be anonymous. You can be anonymous, and it's a toll-free for both landline and mobile. So we are using any of Lucingo Longa Banal. So we do encourage people to report, and anonymity is one of the things that we, let's see, Hambisa and Belvel. In case you feel you don't want to be known, we'll definitely keep it that way. But if you want to come physically and report, the office led Fugelaga Internal Affairs, Lisengamu building, that is where they are based. They are not at the headquarters, so that if Betekto reported something relating to someone, Vusi, who works at the headquarters, Bangabina let discomfort. So we encourage that they go to Ingamu building.
Okay, and of course, after Lama reports like that, there's an investigation, because abanye mhlambe batawushaya ukuthi banyanya zibani lo sebenza ka ARS, so kutaba khona mhlambe leyo thorough investigation kubona sivele lokho laba kubikile ku authentic.
Yes, we do see a lot of those where Nazi kufuna stand disappear, because vele siyati ukuthi labanye abantu bangadilwa timidabo basebenzisa lo mkhankaso lo. So Nazi kufuna bese siyatene disavele sihambe sihlole ukuthi uqiniso baloko mhlawumbe bunganani, and then deal with it when we have to deal with it.
Alright, sikwakhona nje basikumbuta leyo toll free line ukuthi ngabe bangashaya kuphi kubika bona lokuqala lo.
I-toll free line yethu it's 808,000.
Okay. Yes. Right. Thank you so much. Ngozi mbukile besikhulumisana naye Vusi Dlamini, Communications Director ka ARS, sikhuluma kabanti ngemkhankaso lokuqala evikini leliphelile lapho khona bakhuthatha sive noma ke bacukutela sive ukuthi sibike inkohlakalo lechubekako kuyo indzaba yokubhadalwa kwemthelo. Toll free line longayishayela ngo-808,000 kanti ke nangabe office kuyoyenda leyo report yakho physically, you can also visit their headquarters lapha eZulwini. Saselke first abesichubeke nehlelo.
Pay your TV license quickly and easily with MTN Momo. Simply dial *007 *3 hash and select option 8 for TV license. Enter your national ID number as your reference and the amount you wish to pay. Then enter your PIN to confirm your payment. Once your payment has been made, you'll receive a confirmation SMS of your payment. If you're a first-time payer, you get another SMS for your TV license. So legalize your entertainment from the comfort of your home. Pay your TV license the easy and convenient way with MTN Momo.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
I do the most. Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni. Come on. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store.
We're good together. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Asimenzele sikumukele sikuvusele nawo losanza kuzivulela lo mhlahlelweni Kusile breakfast show sitawubuka nje le thamba embili kwelamanye emave. Sitaqala khona eveni lasa Ethiopia lapho kubuka khona ukuthi uhulumende welive lasa Ethiopia sothatha isinqumo sokuthelelana yemandi nema-regional forces ngalesithathu kulandzela impilo eseyithathe iminyaka lemibili leseyibulale bamfu labanengi tinkulungwane.
The beginning of a new dawn for Ethiopia. That's what the African Union called it on Wednesday, as they welcomed a truce between the Ethiopian government and the Tigray rebels.
Parties in the Ethiopian conflict have formally agreed to the cessation of hostilities, as well as to systematic, orderly, smooth, and coordinated disarmament.
The deal would also include the restoration of law, order and services, access to humanitarian supplies and the protection of civilians, and it's welcomed by the rebels.
We have made painful concessions because addressing the pains of our people is far more important than the kinds of concessions we have made. Yes, we have made concessions because we have to build trust, and we have to make sure that every one of us builds on that trust.
With this agreement, the African Union hopes to end a devastating 2-year war that began when the leaders of the rebel Tigrayan People's Liberation Front criticised the government for attempting to centralise power. Another disagreement was a peace treaty by Ethiopia and neighbouring Eritrea over disputed territory. And in response, the TPLF organised regional elections in September 2020, deemed illegal by government authorities. 2 months later, the first clashes broke out when Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed ordered an offensive against the rebels, who were accused of attacking government army camps. After a 5-month ceasefire, the clashes resumed. Although the true toll of the conflict remains unknown, the UN estimates that the civil war has caused nearly 500,000 deaths, with over 2 million people displaced and widespread famine.
Kanti inkantolo eParis ngalesine seyigwebe former rebel commander yase-Liberia to life in a prison for violence against civilians.
It's the final chapter to the string of atrocities committed by Kunti Kamara during Liberia's first civil war more than 25 years ago. After a grueling 3-week trial, a guilty verdict and a life sentence handed to the former regional rebel commander. For the prosecution, this end marked a sigh of relief for his victims.
The plaintiffs, the 9 Liberian plaintiffs, and Civitas Maximus came, were heard at length. This trial was a hope for the victims of this civil war. This was heard by the court, and in that sense, it is a satisfactory decision.
At the centre of the trial were Kamara's crimes dating back to 1993 and 1994, during his role as the regional commander to the United Liberation Movement of Liberia for Democracy, an armed group opposed to former President Charles Taylor. The court found him guilty of crimes against civilians as well as complicity in massive and systematic torture and inhumane acts. These include the rape by soldiers under his command of 2 teenage girls. He also reportedly ate the heart of a teacher. Kamara is just one of a few, including ex-President Charles Taylor, to have been convicted over atrocities from Liberia's civil wars. Rights groups say Wednesday's verdict gives hope that others could be put on trial.
It sends a very strong message that perpetrators of atrocities can face justice, even years after they have committed their crimes.
250,000 people were killed during Liberia's back-to-back civil conflicts from 1989 to 2003.
7 minutes before 7 o'clock, Stibamba lapho ngaphandle kwakuleli start sasalikefu nasibuya sibuka traffic update.
Do you remember the spinning thing? This is us. This picture represents what we did. We were there when coronavirus wreaked havoc in our population. Together with other stakeholders, we formed the first line, controlling the spread of the unknown and unseen enemy of the people. Anxious ourselves, we collected dead bodies countrywide. At the time when no one wanted to come near dead bodies of loved ones, we did care for our fellow citizens. Thank you, the people of Eswatini and teams of first responders.
5 minutes before 7, lesikhathi sidabuka simo semgwaqo lomhla ekseni na Constable Ntombenhle asivusele Mdolo. Ingabe kuhambeka kanjani lomhla emigwaqweni elive?
Ngikuvusele Magagula, ngivusele naye umbukeli wekusile breakfast show. Imigwaqo elive la Kangwane singumbutho wembubene sive sesihlolile namhla ekseni. Imigwaqo leminengi iyahambeka yebo kona kuletinye indzawo kulandzela dona imvula lesibenato kuwola malanga. Leminye imigwaqo seyigubhekile sekunetibhodi nje letinengi emigwaqweni siyakhuthaza bashayeli ukuthi basashayela khona emigwaqweni abanake tibhodi letinsha letikhona kuze ukuthi baphephe basasebenzisa yona imigwaqo. Emadolobha elive ahloliwe tibane temgwaqo kuwo onke lamadolobha ayasebenza ngalokufanele ngaphandle kwedolobha lelikhulu laseMbabane lakhona tibane temgwaqo lapha eMangwaneni na uphuma edolobheni lelikhulu ubheka khona kaManzini adisebendi. Umgwaqo lomkhulu losuka khona ehekeni laseNgwenya ubheke khona kaManzini lokufaka eKhathi naye eMalagwane uyahambeka kulolu suku lanamuhla kude sikhinyabedo lesikhona. EKhathi edolobheni kaManzini sitaladi lesingumahleka street lesisuka khona eMozambique Hotel siyawufika lapha eTulu kaDupsi. Kusuka nje la kule four-way stop na ukhuphukela khona kaDupsi lo mgwaqo loyo noma ke leso sitaladi leso sivaliwe. Siyakhuthaza nje bashayeli nabaqhamuka ngakhona ebus rank ukuthi abafike bahlukele ngesekudla khona lapho babheke khona kadlela Ntungeni noma ke babheke khona kuposini kuze ukuthi bakhone kufika lapho bafise kufika khona. Lubombo luhloliwe nalo umgwaqo losuka khona eSteki ubheke khona kuMaphungwane. Siyathi lo mgwaqo loyo sikhathini lesiphelile usewakhiwa siyanaka-ke sisebenzise siyachubeka futhi nawo kuwakha loyo mgwaqo loyo uchubekela phambili. Lokusho ukuthi nje kusukela kamafastelo kuyawufika khona emtholweni kunetindvundvuma semhlabathi letibekiwe khona emgwaqweni. Kuvulwe-ke umgwaqo wesikhashana eceleni kanti-ke kulo mgwaqo wesikhashana lovuliwe uhamba kulesinye isigaba ube mncane kakhulu uthi ingakhonti imoto lokuphambana. Sikhuthatha nje bona abashayeli basashayela ukuthi abadedelane noma bamelane kuleto tigaba kuze ukuthi bakhone kuphepha basasebenzisa wona umgwaqo. Ishiselo nayo ihloliwe, imigwaqo eshiselweni iyahambeka cishe yonkana ngaphandle nje komgwaqo losuka khona e-training center ubheke khona eCasino. Loyo mgwaqo loyo umncane kakhulu noma ke udlekile emaceleni lokwenta ukuthi imoto lo tingakhoni kuphambana kahle khona lapho. Ngale kwaloko Thombeni naye umbukeli imigwaqo yelive laKangwane iyahambeka ngaphandle kwaleti sikabedo lesenkishido. Kungaba kufisela yena umbukeli lusuku loluhle naloluphephile basetawusebenzisa yona imigwaqo yelive laKangwane.
Asibonga kakhulu Constable Ndombenhle kuseketalo yombiko 2 minutes before 7 sithatha salikhefu sibine tindzaba futhi sibili.
Mngani, ukasibusisa ungithengele smartphone.
Mama, asithathe selfie mngani.
Nani, thatha ngalo bhompompo wakho. Angisho wena uyadlala. Awumngani ngani lo babelo yani?
Mngani, ngiright ngalo bhompompo wami. Ngiyenetiseka ngale nginakho. Lokunye ngidaba nako ngesikhathi lesifanele. I-HIV isekhona. Asitivikeleni sibamvu labasha.
Lo mletho wemasomvu niulethela litiko letempilo netinhlangano letina Dream Services.
This is PrEP, otherwise known as pre-exposure prophylaxis. PrEP is for HIV prevention. PrEP can be used by HIV-negative people to protect themselves from HIV. For more information on PrEP, visit your nearest health facility or call 2030.
Ngikhumbulile hamba nje ekuseni sengibuya ngikhumbulile basisita ke mfana ngoba bese kukhala libhungane la yonke into zahlala eMTT uyayibona le ndzawo
basita vele abahulumende futhi sinika labantu kanti vele nangemhamba itolo bantwana bebakhulela kubantu abadzala umcele nakulomunye
Banva bethu foster care help raise the future. Betsembeti.
Asimzele sivusele siyakumukela nawe lo sanza kuzivulela sita ungena etindzabeni tetfu tesibili. Mvanankulu Leopard Dlamini uthi uhulumende udihambisa imbili temfumvo kungako enda yonke imetama ukuthuthukisa tikolwa takuleli. Mvanankulu lebekatsi yamelelwe indvuna yetemfumvo Lady Howard uveto loku ngesikhatsi kuvulwa ngokwemtsetfo lihola lelesekelwe nguhulumende lelibita imali lengetulu kwetikitsi letintsatfu esikoleni lesikhulu sakasomjalo sezulwini lapho wachaze khona ukuthi leli hola litawubala usito lolukhulu kubafundzi balesikolwa.
Indvuna yelitiko letemfundvo Lady Howard lebekadze imelele indvunankulu Leopard Dlamini kulomsebenzi ithi leli hola belisidzingo kulesikolwa.
Sikubuka nje ukuthi kuyimpumelelo lenze kulesikolwa lokuthi baze bafike la kuthenini bakhe lihola lelihle kangaka futhi lelikhulu kangaka njengoba nje nabo basikolwa lesikhulu. Siyajabula silitiko ukuthi sitikhanze siyincenyela umsebenzi lona. Lihola lona libite itigitsi letingetulo kwemetigitsi letintsatfu. Uhulumende ufakile isandla ngeunit yakhe yaka micro projects.
Thishela nhloko wakulesikolwa Macanza Mamba uthi leli hola litawuba lisito lolukhulu.
Bantfu bethu seba bo 850 nakubhalwa iexam bo form 5 baba bo 200 and something kude leclass lengaba accommodate na form 3 wethu uyendlula ku 200 nababhala so lelo hola ke liyasita nakubhalwa ama external examinations.
Indvuna ithi uhulumende utawuchubeka isekelele esikolwa kanye nato tonke tikolwa takuleli etinhlangothini letahlukene. Edindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Nelson Wendla ngamandla kunaThemba Shabangu ezulwini.
Lihhovisi leliphina ndvunankulu lisemkhankasweni wokuthi uqale kusebenta umgomo wemtsetfo wokuvikela abantwana kanye nekuqinisekisa inhlalakahle yabo i-Children's Protection and Welfare Act yemnyaka wa 2012 likhuluma ngesikhathi kufundziswa kabanti amalunga elikomiti lelibuke kusebenta kwalelihhovisi endlini yetimphunga liphina ndvunankulu Themba Masuku lithi lo mgomo utawucacisa ukuthi lo mtsetfo kufanele usebente kanjani kuqinisekisa inhlalakahle yabantwana kuleli.
Selethula inkulumo yalo kulomsebenzi lebekadze ubanjelwe ehotela leHilton Garden eMbabane liphini ndvunankulu Themba Masuku lithi uma timphunga tiuconza kahle lo mgomo we-Children's Protection and Welfare Act wemnyaka wanga 2012 utawusheshe uphase etindlini tePhalamende kude inhlalakahle yebantfwana ivikeleke kangcono.
Within the next few weeks we will kick off the adoption. There's pressure. People want to adopt. Even in my own office, the ministry, if you want to call the DPM's office a ministry, there are people who are saying, DPMs, if we not adopt, and there are those I meet in church, they want to adopt. There are those we meet in the streets, they talk to me about adoption. And I find this very important that when we look at the regulations, we can then allow this. Just in my last report to Parliament, we found that there were about 45 children who had been abandoned.
Lobuke mahhovisi aka-UNICEF kuleli Amina Mohammed uthi nanoma elive selendele okuningi iqinisekisa inhlalakahle yabantwana kepha kusafanele kuqiniswe etindzabeni tekucitsa kuhlukubeteka kwabo netemfundvo njengoba labaningi baphumile esikolweni nakubedvuka umkhuhlane i-COVID-19.
We want to strengthen the partnership. It shouldn't end by enacting laws and policies, but ensuring that we work together to push the buttons that are needed to be pushed within the society, within the kingdom, bringing in all the partners that we can work with, and these include the private sector, the parents, the children themselves.
Lo mgomo uchaza kabanti indlela lefanele yendiwe umuntu nakafise kuthatha umfana longesiye wakhe ahlale naye i-adoption kanye nekuthi tindzawo letigcina abamfana labadzingile kufanele tisebente kanjani kubala kulokunye. Edindzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Nelson Wendla ngamandla kunaThemba Shabangu eMbabane.
Lihhovisi leliphina ndvunankulu latisa sive ikakhulukati bogogo nabomkhulu nalabakhubatekile ngeluhlelo lokufundzisa ngetindzaba tekuphepha ngekusebentisa tincingo tamahlalekhukhukhwini nangetebuchwepheshe ikakhulu tindzaba tekuphepha lofaka ekhatsi kuhola nangekukhipha timali kubamahlalekhikhikhini. Lolu hlelo lutabe luchutshwa inkampani yahulumende lengamele tekuchumana Eswatini Communications Commission ebambisene nelihhovisi leliphini landvunankulu kanye nelitiko letinkhundla nentuthuko. Kulomkhankaso lihhovisi litawenda luhlelo lwavela labo bonke labahola ngaphansi kwelihhovisi leliphina Ndvunankhulu kutolungiselela kuqala kwekuhola njalo ngenyanga kwabogogo nabomkhulu. Bayakhumbutwa ukuthi baphathe bomatisi bebuve national identity cards. Lolu hlelo lutoqala esifundeni saseshiselweni kunayi imiphakathi namalanga lalandzelako. Mhla ka-3 November hlelo tawuqala emphakathi wasetsheni eluhlekweni Ensubane nakavuma. Mhla ka-4 lutawuqala enkonga emaplotini ephangweni kanye nasevimbi zibuko. Mhla ka-7 lona lutawuqala ensalitshe ekwaluseni ebambije kanye nasedinabanye. Bese kuthi mhla ka-8 lolu hlelo lutawuqala emabona bulawe emanyanzeni emchinisweni kanye nasedumenkhwini. Mhla ka-9 lo hlelo lutawuqala ezikhotheni engwanyameni nakahoho. Mhla ka-10 luhlelo lutawuqala emampondweni ebulekeni kaShiba nasenkhungwini. Bese kuthi mhla ka-11 lolu hlelo lutawuba sevusweni esimemeni kanye nasemasibini. Live leSwatini kanye neleMozambique abuka indlela yokuthi singabuketwa kanjani isivumelwano semnyaka wa-1976 lesasayinwa ngulamave etindzabeni tekusebenzisana kuletha imali lahlobile kude lamave akhone kumelana nesimo sekugucugucuka kwesimo selitulu lokubonakala kukhula ngelizinga lelisetulu kulamalanga. Lobambe kuba indvuna yetemcebo waphansi nemandla Jabulani Mabuza ukuvete lokhu eRoyal Villas ezolweni ngesikhathi yemukela indvuna yelitiko letemandi eveni leMozambique Carlos Mesquita levakashele kuleli nelibandla layo kute ubuka ukuthi lamave angachubeka abambisane kanjani etindzabeni temandi.
Indvuna yelitiko leteklima Jabulani Mabuza ithi kunesidingo sekuthi live leSwatini kanye neleMozambique lichubeke libukete indlela tekuthi yini lengendiwa kukhulisa budlelwane kutemandi lokuqinisekisa kwekuthi lamave abanemandi lenele futhi lahlandekile. Lokhu ke ngekusho kwendvuna kufaka ekhathi kubuyeketa sivumelwane lasenta lamave ngeminyaka wanga-1976 lokutawuholela kwekuthi lamave akhone kuba nemandi lenele njengoba isimo sekugucugucuka kwesimo selitulu solo sikhula ngemandla.
I've been made aware, Honorable Minister, about the 1976 water sharing agreement that exists between our countries, and also some of the gaps and the reasons that necessitated the need to review the agreement. The agreement indeed needs to be reviewed to cover new emerging issues such as climate change, improving information sharing, and also determine water development projects that can be done.
Indvuna yetemandi eveni leMozambique Carlos Mesquita ithi kumgcoka kwekuthi emave lasenta ne-Afrika aqinisekise kwekuthi anemandi lahlandekile ngaso sonke isikhathi.
Para o qual desejo desde já sucesso redobrado.
Indvuna Jabulani Mabuza ithi lamave lamabili asebenda alandzela imigomo yenhlangano yemave lasenta ne-Afrika i-Southern African Development Community. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV kubika Nelson Ngamandla kunaThemba Shabangu ezulwini.
Indvuna yelitiko leteklima Jabulani Mabuza isayikhuthaze bomake nebamfula abasha labangenele umncintiswano wamake longumlimi kuthi baluhambele imbili luhlelo lwahulumende lokuhlangabeza abalimi ngetinfo tekulima. Indvuna bekhuluma nakuhlonyeliswa labahambe imbili kulomncintiswano walonyaka.
Umncintiswano wamake longumlimi walonyaka ungene esigabeni selishumi nesihlanu. Indvuna yelitiko leteklima Jabulani Mabuza nayibeka inkulumo yayo ikhuthaze bomake ukuthi bachubeke nekulima njengoba elive liphophele ekuthenini kube nekudla lokwanele.
Itiko ke nalo liyanisupporta kakhulu sidimisele nekuchubeka sinisupporte futhi sichubeke futhi sitigcabe ngani nalapho kufanele sikhulume ngani khona. Siyabonga kakhulu ke nakuma sponsors ningatsinwa kubambisa lelo hlelo le program ningatsinwa ngoba kutsinwa kwenu kuyawusho kuyekelela sive empeleni kutsinwa kwenu kuyawusho ukuthi kwanine licobo kungenteka nibe nenkinga yendlala.
Labahambe embili kulomncintiswano bathi kusebenta ngekutikhandla kunemphumela lomuhle.
Ngabasonzelela labo number 1 and number 2
kubuka ukuthi benda njani ngaya ngobuka nasemasimini abo ukuthi kunjani ngase ngibuka ami
ngi-enlarge the scale labengilima kiso saba sikhulu and make sure ukuthi i-produce yami kuba lelunga kakhulu emakethe.
Bhekizwa Maziya lo melele tinkampani letsekele lo msebenzi ngetimali uthi tinkampani tiyadzinga ukuthi tesekele bomake nemanfombatana. Etindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni na Mbongwa Dube Esitfokotfo.
Itiko letasekhaya latisa sive kutsi inhlokohovisi yalelitiko eMbabane itawuvalwa ngensimbi yesibili lamhla ngenxa yekuthi kutawube kufutfwa kusebenta lokutayelekile kubheke ukuthi kuchubeke ngemsombuluko. Litiko liyaxolisa isiveni ngokuphakamiseka lokutawuba khona. Imalunga yemave lange-55 ase-Afrika ahlangene eMountain View eMbabane lapho khona abambe umhlangano lohlose ukuphumana indlela yokuthi live lisebenta njani indzaba yezivumelwano sekuthengiselana ngaphandle kwetincabekelwano emkhatsini wemave ase-Afrika. Umhlangano uvulwe ngumabhalane lomkhulu etiko letemabhizinisi nekuthengiselana lobekamelelwe ngumabhalane lomncane ecebile Nhlabathi. Nhlabathi uthi ilive leSwatini linemgomo lomkhulu wokuthuthukisa umnotho walo ngekuthengiselana nalamanye emave phecelezi export driven economy.
Bantfu labakhona eAfrika basigitsigitsi nengcenye 1.3 billion kani umnotfo walelivekati ungu-3.4 trillion wemadola asemelika. Mabhalane lomkhulu etiko letemabhizinisi nekuthengiselana lobekamelelwe ngumabhalane lomncane walelitiko ocebile Nhlabathi uthi live leSwatini leline bantfu lababalelwa kulabasigitsi netinkhulungwane letingemakhulu lasitfupha kubhekeke ukuthi lizuze kakhulu kulesivumelwano.
Kutasita kakhulu silive lakangwane ngoba phela noma ngabe nguphi umkhicito lesinawo ufuna sikhona ukuthengisa ukuze sikhona ukuthola imali futhi nangabe sikhonile kungena lesivumelwano lesi siyakhona nekusoma labanye balamanye emave ukuthi bete batoganekisa lakithi bakhona ukubenefita kuleti vumelwano lesi sitendlina lamanye emave. So lokuba kulama kuletindzawo noma kulama economic communities lahlukene kuyasisita nasisoma bosomabhizinisi bete batokhona ukubenefita kuleti vumelwano lesisidakile.
Kanzi lokhulumele inhlangano yamhlaba ehlangothini lwetimali ye-Afrika Batanai Chikwene uthi live leSwatini linematfuba lamahle ekutfutfukisa umnotfo walo ngetekuthengiselana.
There are a number of issues that are important. The government needs to come up with a coordination mechanism that brings together the key players, the private sector, the government itself, other trade promotion agencies within Eswatini.
Emave lasiphohlongo ase-Afrika lafaka ekhatsi i-Egypt, i-Cameroon, i-Ghana, i-Kenya ne-Mauritius, i-Rwanda, i-Tanzania kanye ne-Tunisia sekavele acalile kuthengiselana ngephansi kwalezivumelwano. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV kubika Sifiso Nxumalo ngese-Mountain View eMbabane.
Umphathi wenhlangano yase-Afrika lebuke itilwane letigciniwe Kadukiwe Sebunya uthi leSwatini lisibuko lapho bantfu be-Afrika bangakhona kutibuka khona kude baconze buve babo. Sebunya bekakhuluma ngesikhathi yavakashele likhaya leSiswati eMandenga.
Umphathi we-African Wildlife Foundation Kadukiwe Sebunya uvakashele likhaya leSiswati eMandenga lapho afundziswe kabanti ngebuve bemaswati. Sebunya uthi live leSwatini lihamba embili lapha eAfrika ekugcineni emasiko.
All of us as Africans, we can learn a lot from what we are trying to do here. It's a big plan for the government, the people of Eswatini, but it's exciting that the country is taking on all this effort to connect people, conservation and development, and that is how the future of Africa looks like.
Kubheke ukuthi aphethe luhambo lwakhe lapha even lolutawusita ekuthenini lenhlangano ibe nebudlelwane nelaseSwatini. Itindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni na Mbongwa Dube ezulwini.
Bamvula abasha basembuluzi nemacenselo batheleke ngobuningi babo esikoleni esiphakeme sasembuluzi kaHoho lapho khona beluhlangothi lolubalo ngaphansi kwelitiko letekuhlela umnotfo nentuthuko bachuba luhlelo lokuhlunga labatawenda umsebenzi lomkhulu welibalo womnyaka wa 2022-2023. Lomelele umcondzisi wetelibalo Simon Taylor uthi bayajabula ngalesasasa lelikhonjiswa bamvula abasha ekubeni ingcenye yalomsebenzi.
Lubalo lweminyaka wa-2022-2023 luhlose ukutfola tinombolo tetekulima emaphandleni kubhekeke kutsi lube tinyanga letintsatfu kusukela ngenyanga yeNgongoni lonyaka kute kube yinyanga yeNdlovana eminyakeni lotako. Lomele umcondzisi wetelibalo Simon Tseller utsi utawucasha bantfu labasha labangetulu kwemakhulu lasitfupha lomsebenti.
Ugcwele abantu labatofuna lomsebenzi sibabona nje bashaya elayini sibavele baphethe ma-requirements abo lesawacela baselayinini bayobhalisela ekuthenini nabo bathole lawo ma-chance ekuthenini bathole inhlanhla labo bahambe bangene kulo msebenzi welive. Kepha nje kuyisayela nasihlayindlulisela kuye uhulumende ekuthenini ayibone le ukuthi sikhulu lesidingo semisebenzi ekuthenini lamathuba emisebenzi anziswe abe khona abemanenge ngoba kube kungenjalo ngabe asingakalesive ngabe sincanyana.
Bantfu labasha lababhalisele lo msebenzi baneshisekelo lenkhulu.
Lelifuba leli litasisita ukuthi sicashwe bese siyasebenza sikhone kondla imindeni yethu.
Excited kakhulu futhi nangibuka ngazuthi ngidalitfola lithuba nami ukuthi ngisebenze because ngake ngasebenza umsebenzi lofana nalona nasenda le housing population census.
Singibamfu labasha siyacala nalokto applyela into lenjena nje.
Lubalo lwetekulima lwentiwa kanye njalo ngemuva kweminyaka lelishumi. Etindzabeni te-Eswatini TV kubika Sifiso Nxumalo ngisensingweni.
Umcondzisi welihlangothi lotekweluleka itiko letemfundvo Lindiwe Dlamini uthi litiko libuke kufaka tebulili etifundweni takuleli inhloso yekucinisekisa ukuthi emantfombatana nebafana batfola kwesekeleka lokufanele etifundweni nakumakhono latawubatfutfukisa. Dlamini bekakhuluma ngesikhatsi bahlangene nama-curriculum designers ezulwini.
Litiko letemfundvo solo liyachubeka nekuhlangana netinhlangothi letibuke tebulili ekuthenini tifakwe etifundweni takuleli. Umcondzisi welihlangothi lwetekululeka itiko letemfundvo Lindiwe Dlamini uthi lokhu kutawusita ekuthenini kuliwe nebudlwangudlwangu lobukhona.
Sibuka ke tona tindzaba tebulili loko ukuthi ukhanza ukuthi itolo bokhanza ukuthi kunemisebenzi leyendiwa mantfombatana nebafana. Kepha nyalo siyabona lokho ukuthi ukhanza ukuthi sesibonile lokho ukuthi yonke imisebenzi noma ngangibani noma ubulili buni ungayenda. Lokunye siyabona lokho ukuthi ukhanza ukuthi lestropo lamakhaya asikacini in terms of discipline sekathela wayeka sekude lokho ukuthi kujubeleke imikhakha kube nemithetho lebekiwe bese ukhanza ke ukuthi bantfana sebenta ludlame etikolweni.
Litiko selihlangene nelitiko letemcebo waphansi nemandla lapho bekufakwa khona temandla etifundweni. Etindzabeni kubika Sondomlangeni navumi kwasinzinisa ezulwini.
Kutemidlalo lokhulumela licembu le Leopard Franco Rubo uthi balicembu sabavele bawaqalile emalungiselelo emlende wesibili wendzebe ye-CAF Confederations Cup nelicembu le-AS Real Bamako laseveni lasemali. Rubo uthi tidzingo letitawubita kutsi bakhone ukufinyelela khona imali titawubita imali lelinganiselwa esigidini semalangeni 1 million.
Kulandzela kutsi licembu le-Real Leopard lidlala ngekulingana nelicembu le-AS Real Bamako yaseveni lasemali endzebeni ye-CAF Confederations Cup enkundleni yesive kasomhlolo ngalesitsatfu lelicembu nyalo selicala emalungiselelo emlende wesibili. Frank Hulube lokhulumela lelicembu utsi tidzingo tekutsi bakhone kuyofinyelela khona imali kutawubita imali lefika esigidini semalangeni 1 million emalangeni.
Nasicembu sishatana bude imali kakhulukati imali eyamathiketi kakhulukati imali yako bulala le ikakhulukati imali ndawusho imali ama-allowances ngoba as you go with the boys you need to incentivize them. Khona ufuna ukuthi ubaphe kona ubanike kona batawuphakama especially sitawuphakama. So siyacela eziveni semaswati siyacela etinkampanini siyacela kuma-individuals kulo mdlalo nje Fabrice nasubala imali yato tindiza lokusuka la ngoba nangabe kuhambe kahle tindlela sitawusebenzisa indiza etimbili khona Daka Sky khona Daka Ethiopian Airlines. Uma ke kuhambeka nawo tibuka tonke letindiza tirenja ku 600,000-700,000.
Umlente wesibili utawudlalwa evikini lelitako khona eBamako imali lapho khona iRoyal Leopard idzinga kunqoba lo mdlalo noma-ke idlale ngekulingana ngamagoli amabili ngala nangale noma-ke langetulu kulawo kude kuthi ichubekele esigabeni sama-group stages. Lobikela umsakathi Eswatini TV temidlalo ngilinda Dlamini kanzi umbiko uhlanganiswa nguFabrice Msonera eMbabane.
20 minutes after 7 sadebetha indzaba tefu tesibili tehlelo sibathwala imakethe sitabe sichubeke nehlelo.
Pay your TV license quickly and easily with MTN Momo. Simply dial *007 *3 hash and select option 8 for TV license. Enter your national ID number as your reference and the amount you wish to pay. Then enter your PIN to confirm your payment. Once your payment has been made, you'll receive a confirmation SMS of your payment. If you're a first-time payer, you get another SMS for your TV license. So legalize your entertainment from the comfort of your home. Pay your TV license the easy and convenient way with MTN Momo.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
I do the most. Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni per month. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store.
We're good together. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Asenza sekumukele 23 minutes after 7 o'clock besivetele ukuthi sisabe sikhulumisana nalabasuka Eswatini Gospel Music Awards njengoba kumele ukuthi ngomqhudelwano kulona lohlalo banjwa njalo ngeminyaka wendelwa abahlabeleli bemculo wegospel wagcina kwendeka ngeminyaka wa 2020 ngesizathu samkhuhlane COVID-19 uyabuya ke lonyaka kanti utabubanjwe mhla ka 3 December lonyaka inhlangano yakhe soyibambisene nenhlangano yakaswaka njengoba lonyaka lomsebenzi iconcept yabo utabanjwe kakhulu ku-advocatela and promoting messages against gender-based violence njengoba sibonile ukuthi ama-cases ehlukubeteka anyuke kakhulu sesivele sinaye PRO wawo lo msebenzi imncobi Thabethe kodwa sicacela kabanti ngawo la awards siyabonga kakhulu nje ukuthi ube nathi lomhla ekseni kube nje kusichazela nje no kusinikete background information ngawo lo umsebenzi wema Gospel Awards kuthi waqala nini so ukhule kanganani over the years.
Ngivusele babukele emakhaya libito lami ngomncobi wayo kaThabethe long way PRO eMaswatini Gospel Awards. Eswatini Gospel Awards, they aim to recognize accomplishment artist over the years noma kulo mnyaka lata babanjele ngakhona and kukusho nje ukuthi lo nyaka into engeke kuhluka we have Rock Solid lo babisene naye akhaswe kwendeni lama awards njengoba sawushita ukuthi na Eswaka naye ukhona as our partner kwekuthi nisihambisa lo mlayeto to advocate against feminism. Yes.
Ingavela mhlambe nje nikubuke ngani lokuthi nibambisane naye Eswaka siyade kuvelele ukuthi ama cases vela yabonakala abamanengi sihlale sibone maybe kwenetindzaba GBV that ingavela mhlambe nzima yini Eswaka lata idlala kulo msebenzi.
Eqinisweni ekubukeni lokuthi the cases of gender-based violence ayanyuka so sithiteke asibambisane as lokonja the Christian community nawo ama gospel artists kwekuthi sihambise lo mlayeto. That is why we had partnered with Swaka kuhambisa wona lo mlayeto kwekuthi no to gender-based violence and ending feminism. So sifake nawo ama artists which is I think it is worth mentioning kwekuthi they are also working on releasing a song letoba khona about and yes, GPV or ending feminism.
All right, so looking at the music awards, the gospel music awards, growth yawo nje ngabe mhlambe sewakhule kanganani nje over the years nekuthi nje mhlambe nasibuka exposure ama artists gospel ekhaya Eswatini kuba sita kanganani nje ukuthi babe ingcenye yala mchitholwana.
Well, njengoba ngisho ke ukuthi by looking at past awards since I relaunch on 2014 by the late Dr. Prime Minister Dr. Sibusiso Barnabas sekakhulile because we received about over 750,000 votes ngaloyo mnyaka, and going to 2016 nakhona kwehlahla kancane ne-COVID yasehlisa futhi, but we are looking to bounce back kulo mnyaka and excel ngoba vele we are all about excellence. So iwasiteka kakhulu ke futhi ama-artist because I think the most popular gospel artist we are winning beautiful prizes Dr. Msita to sustainability as kusaqhubeka iminyaka.
Okay, so atahamba kanjani this year nje mhlambe nomination stage kuvotwa kutahamba kanjani njengoba sengisho ukuthi ataba mhla ka3 nyalo kwendekani nyalo?
Okay, firstly sawa launcher nyalo sandlula to voting stage. Bese yenda nominations unveiling 2 weeks back ku reveal ama nominees la khona lo nyaka, and right now we are on the voting stage. We have a digital voting lel vote la khona ling 1 emalangeni 90 cents. Then we also have by SMS 285 emalangeni 2 emalangeni 85 cents. So like nyalo sik voting stage, and we are receiving a number of votes. People are voting, the fans are voting. We are really impressed about the turnout.
Alright. Yes. So ngiyacabanga ukuthi akheso naye mhlambe ufisile ukubona ukuthi onke ama-artists gospel lapha eSwatini mhlambe accommodate kulama awards. Niwabonile nima-artists lamasha la nominate noma mhlambe solo nibona ama-artists la solo bamfu ba nominate one of the same people, kukhona vele mhlambe lokuthi banikede labanye lithuba?
Well, it is a bit impossible to see one and the same faces because njengoba isho the industry is growing. We are receiving we see new faces. And right now, there are a lot of new faces leswabonago in the gospel music industry. Let's see, lokwenda sibe excited lokhombisa ukuthi umculo uyathuthuka evele. And we have 5 public categories that were voted for. Then we have other 7 categories langeke abe voted for. Lokho bese kusetshenziswa criteria yama judges because sibalekela lokho ukuthi ku-award bantu labangeke ngithi labanga deserve, but people that didn't accomplish to a certain level. Kugcine ngoba nasithi nje we have the best newcomer category ngiyabekisa lo muntu loyo ude ama fans lathide langakanani latamvotela, so it's only fair ukuthi angavotelwa by the general public, but we use a criteria lethide to accommodate naye loyo muntu loyo losafika ku the industry.
Alright, speaking of your categories, what are some of the categories nje mhlambe lataba khona kulama awards nje basoshite kunabo best newcomer, best song, ngapha nje lamanye that we can look forward to?
Basically, we have a best contemporary gospel song. We have the best gospel male artist. We have the best gospel artist. We have the best gospel female artist, to name a few. So, akhona best producer. You know, it's participate on our social media handles. We could see everyone our access. Akhona kwabona kahle.
Okay, so njengoba ushithi ukuthi agcina 2020 right kuba khona lama awards, yes. So nga 2021 kude mhlambe lena kwenda, you know, as an organization, and ngabe vele mhlambe nabo ama-artists nanikhulumisana nabo bathini njengokuthi kude ama-awards and they're back this year, bathini njengokuthi abengekho 2021?
Well, more than anything sesi-overlookile lithi iBhayibheli kwakudzala kwendlulile bheka sekuvelele okusha. We are more keen about this the lama awards. We are looking forward to lawa lata wendeka kulo mnyaka, so the artists are more excited about this year's awards because we ataba elikhethelo ngisho kanjalo because we've missed them for over a period of time. So everyone is just excited about the awards. Wonke muntu is looking forward to the day and being awarded, or rather receiving the award.
Yes. No, thank you so much. Kepa mhla ka3 ataba kuphi mhla ka3?
Awards ataba emavuso trade fair hall number 2 on the 3rd of December, and il ticket lethu ling 150 general, and we have EVIP for 250 emalangeni. And now we're saying on a digital platform liyashipha lona. We have it for 120 now on my digital platform, digital way of purchasing the ticket, and we have it for 250 EVIP.
Alright, no, thank you so much. Sibonga kakhulu Mncwabi ukuba nathi. Kusikhumbuza ukuthi this year gospel Eswatini Gospel Music Awards ayabuya kulandzela ukuthatha nje just a 1-year break due to COVID-19. Ngebantu abakhona on the 3rd of December khona lapha emavuso. Let's take a break. Nasibuya silabe sikhulumisana na Cleopatra.
Why should we pay our TV license?
The content on our local television is actually more up to date. The industry is enhanced.
It is a criminal offense not to pay your TV license and attracts a fine of 500 emalangeni or 6 months imprisonment.
And the industry is definitely blooming, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we have for you. But we'll be right back just after the break and we'll give you more of Miss V.
Pay my TV license. That's why I can enjoy the benefits of an enhanced industry and keep track with recent transformation.
Mommy, who pays for a TV license and what are they paying for?
The owners of TV set and a gadget with a tuner like DVD set have to pay.
Pay your TV license at NetBank with the details provided on screen. Or use your cell phone via the mobile money pay. You could also visit your nearest post office and pay there. Pay your TV license via Eswatini Mobile Imali. Any TV device retailer can purchase a license to trade. Pay your TV license and enhance the industry.
Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni. Come on. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store.
We're good together. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Welcome back, Kusile. Now, we had mentioned earlier, with country music singer Cleopatra, Lowine Award, Kona at Texas, Nyang Lepilile, Best Producer's Choice Award, Kona Mnindiswani, Wema, Texas Music International. Texas Sounds Music International Awards labanjelo khona eveni laseMelika. Cleopatra ke umhlabelelo lapha ekhaya eSwatini uhlabela umculo we country music. She was the first Leswati in 2019 to be nominated to perform at those awards, and lo nyaka uhambe nawo umklomelo wa Producer's Choice Award asesivule sinaye lapha kukhulumisana naye kabandi. And of course she has a Swama Award wa Best Country Music MTN Swama nakhona wayithola nga 2019. Good morning and welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Texas 2019 you were there. So. This year you went back and you came back with an award.
Yes,
Congratulations.
I'd like to think so, but I must correct something that
Okay.
2019 was the first female country musician, because we already had my favorite type of country guys, Dustin Stones, who are leading country music, who actually went there. But 2019 as the first female country music.
Oh, the first female. Oh, congratulations for winning the Producer's Choice Award this year.
Thank you.
All right, just tell us about yourself. You have so many achievements. On the MTN Swama, you've been to Texas, you've performed with great artists. How did your music career start about?
Well, it's a very long story, but I'd like to try by all means to keep it a little bit short and say country music kind of chose me, and I'm just doing the best I can to make sure I sing good music that will touch people's hearts, and sing music that will probably last longer than I will live, and just sing good music, Started very when I was a little bit younger. Actually, this year I'm celebrating 10 years in music. We are hoping that we will have a show that will actually be celebrating a decade and a rose. Hopefully people will come through once everything has been settled before the year ends. But I'd say my music has been a journey. Started it when I was a little bit younger, but I didn't know much about it, but it kind of chose me. That is why today it's such an honor to actually represent the country at such big level.
All right. So I know that, a lot of people, especially your fans, call you Mrs. Roses.
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did you become
goodness.
Mrs. Roses, from Cleopatra to Mrs. Roses?
Okay, first thing, I do love roses. But suddenly it's not about loving roses. There's a song I wrote that hopefully will be recorded because I'm on a project with a friend of mine in Barcelona who will be helping me create my first album. So one of the songs there is going to be Mrs. Roses. I wrote this song like, I think a few years ago, and it was just a mother talking to a rose by the door to actually ask that, please remind me of my daughter Roswell. So somehow people loved the song and they said, you're Mrs. Roses to us.
Okay, and also there's so many singles that you've released.
Yeah.
Another one, Ibidong Ebuti Imali.
Yeah.
It was also a hit on
Yeah.
our national, radio
still love that
stations,
one.
top 20. Okay, tell us more about that.
Well, I'm still hoping to release more music. And I love that song because it always inspires me. I don't want to hear it when I'm broke, though.
Ikhuluma ngemali vele.
Yes, but I
Okay.
love it because it always inspires me to always work harder, to actually have money, especially in financial independence as a person. But also just in general, my music, I'd say I write music to try and inspire people to do something positive about their lives and positive about, the way of living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have so many achievements, man. Like you have, like your musical journey has been documented on CNN,
Yeah.
African Voices. How did that come about? Inhlanhla lengaka kwendekani nje?
I wouldn't call it inland. I'd say the harder you work, someone somewhere find a way to look your way. And when people love and appreciate what you do 100%, they find a way to just work with you and do something that will promote what they think is good. And that has been one of the biggest highlights of my journey, to actually be documented and be labeled the Queen of Country Music in Africa by CNN. And I think over the years, it has quite followed me and inspired me. That is why today we're sitting here with certificates from congressmen in the U.S. who actually gave us this gift and said, thank you for participating. Your music is inspirational to all those people out there. And I'm thankful.
You're thankful, right? So, looking at your
Yeah.
career and your achievements, do you think you took the right career? Because I know that you're also a graphic designer. Do you still do you still do that? No, you're focusing on your music.
Well, I try to give 100% in everything that I do. I do both. I juggle because especially, you cannot, especially in this country for a moment, you cannot live 100% on music. And also because design is also my passion, I love it. So I am doing it because I also work for a company called Instacash, where I'm doing the branding there. And I feel like it's a good pair, creativity and music.
Okay. So let's talk about you being in Texas, for the second time. Was it for the second time?
It was the second time.
All right.
Yeah.
So, just take us through, the emotions, Guguti, you went there for the first time and they called you back.
Yeah.
Wawina this time. How did you feel when they announced your name as the winner?
Well, for the first time, I promise you, I was just shaking, like I couldn't believe it. I was like, how on earth could this happen? And when I got there, they were so welcoming. And 2019, we created a lot of friends, family, and a bigger network. And to a point whereby when we came back this year, we were treated like queens, with my sister who actually traveled with me, but unfortunately she couldn't come today. We were treated like queens. The way they welcomed us, the way they put us out there, it's like you're living a dream that you don't want to wake up in it. So it's entirely emotional sometimes because you hear people say, I still have your T-shirt from 2019, a T-shirt that had my name, 2019.
Okay.
They never wore it until I came back. Like, to see them wearing that T-shirt, they'd be like, Cleopatra, we're wearing that T-shirt. And it becomes so emotional. There was a time whereby I sang one of my songs which says, you don't treat a woman like that. And this man comes around and says, it is so wonderful to hear you sing about music that touch women because so many women are abused, and I wish somebody can just put your music out there in the world and make sure people hear your songs. And that itself is encouragement, and it's really beautiful. And the journey is fulfilling when you see how much people appreciate the music that we give. And just us as people from Africa, representing this small kingdom, they treat us like, like superstars, but we have to try our means to breathe. Like, guys, come on.
Right. So can we look out for future collaborations with artists from Texas? How's that going?
It is very much going well. I should say that. I think winning the award is big on its own, because your music is just sure they're giving you like what you call feedback, that your music is good. Your music, we love it. But more than anything, the network that we build, the connections that we build, because Texas Sounds bring about countries from 31 countries, people from 31 countries. We had a flag parade whereby all our flags were paraded. And everyone there was there to represent their country. And the network we build is just beautiful, because right now I'm talking about collaborations from Barcelona, Australia, people who have actually have the same common goal, music at the highest level, and big collaboration from different parts of the world. And that is really beautiful. So we should look out for something. I hope and I believe that something will be coming out sooner than later.
Okay, so you sing both in Siswati and English?
Yeah, we're palanting the Swati.
So, bage diva in lete Swati, la say Texas.
Yes, one of their favorite is Imali.
Oh, is it?
Guess what? On the repertoire, we didn't have it. Someone says, please sing Imali. They understand it better. And like, what do you understand about the song? They say, you should work for your money. So they understand. So because one time when I sang it, I had to like try to explain it. And because it's got the mix of English and Siswati, they do understand. And also I think you have to be proud when you sing with your language. Like, you have to make people proud, because we've got musicians who are just singing in their own language as well, which is good.
So what are your plans, for the year 2023? Any albums that we can look forward to, future collaborations?
To just bring music and travel. Taking the music to the people the best way we can through the networks we have built. And of course, I feel like I haven't really done much. I know people still want music out there, and that is what I want to try to push more than anything. Music, music, music.
All right.
Yeah.
So more awards even next year.
I pray
You're going back to Texas.
I pray so.
All right. So thank you so much, Cleopatra, for joining us today. Country music singer Cleopatra Lowine award for Producer's Choice Award at the Texas Music Sounds International Awards that were held last month. Let's take a break.
Hi everybody, it's your girl Nojali. Catch me every week on Studio One, giving you the latest trends in fashion, entertainment, and everything that's hip and happening. I'll also be catching up with the movers and shakers, hustlers who are making big moves locally. Don't forget, Studio One, every Saturday at 6 p.m.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. You know the vibes, it's the beat down. The time is 8 p.m. It's time for you to relax, sit back, relax, and enjoy the music videos that I got for you.
Moving no direction, like it's a calling. Feeling alive in the middle of nowhere. Shake the ground and burn the air. So yeah, you don't have to hold back for anything or anyone. Just own this.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds, full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, to feel the rush of life overwhelm you, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be.
I do the most. Watch local TV on the go with the Eswatini TV app for only 20 emalangeni per month. Do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store.
We're good together. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Asimze sinimukele sitabuka le tora thamba imbili ukulamanye amave sitaqala khona eveni lase North Korea lekubikwa khona ukuthi North Korea again has fired missiles on Thursday.
An emergency warning alert ringing out through the city of Nagata in Japan, warning people to seek shelter indoors or underground. Residents of the city scared for what was to come.
It's just scary.
I thought about hiding under the table with my son. I should not underestimate this, thinking that I'll be fine.
The alert came as North Korea fired multiple ballistic missiles, including a possible failed intercontinental ballistic missile on Thursday morning. It was initially claimed that the missiles would fly over Japan, but the Defense Ministry later evaluated that it did not cross the country. It was an act that was once again condemned by Japan, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida denouncing the launch.
A ballistic missile was launched earlier. The continuous launch of ballistic missile is outrageous and absolutely intolerable.
Neighbours, South Korea, reacted by calling on the North to stop what they called a provocation.
North Korea's continuous ballistic missile launches are acts of serious provocation that threaten the security and stability of not only the Korean peninsula, but also the world.
North Korea has already conducted more than 20 missile launches this year alone, compared to just 12 in the previous 2 years combined. The reason for the continued firing of missiles so close to South Korean territory? According to Pyongyang, it's the ongoing air drills between the US and South Korea, which are the largest ever of their kind. Drills which will now be extended beyond the end of the week due to North Korea's latest launch.
Ansisiyaveni lasemelika mengameli Joe Biden soexwayisile ukuthi ama-candidates eliqembu le-Republican mangabe ata angeka emukele ukuthi alutaluza likhetfo lamhla ka-8 aphosa i-threat ku-democracy yasemelika.
A visibly angry Joe Biden took to the podium for his primetime address, first speaking about last week's attack on Paul Pelosi, husband of the House Majority Leader, the blame for which he laid squarely at the feet of far-right conspiracy theorists.
We must, with one overwhelming, unified voice, speak as a country and say there's no place for voter intimidation or political violence in America, whether it's directed at Democrats or Republicans.
Biden, who to date had commented little on the midterm elections, took explicit aim at Republican candidates whom he accused of trying to emulate Donald Trump and call into question the legitimacy of US elections.
It's estimated that there are more than 300 election deniers on the ballot all across America. We can't ignore the impact this is having on our country. It's damaging, it's corrosive, and it's destructive.
Saying democracy was in danger, the president urged voters to get to the polls.
I appeal to all Americans, regardless of party, to meet this moment of national and generational importance. We must vote, knowing what's at stake and not just the policy of the moment.
The Democrats are locked in a tight race with Republicans in the hope of winning back control of the Senate and maintaining their majority in the House of Representatives. But with inflation and high fuel prices fanning discontent with his administration, Biden signalling the alarm on the threat to democracy risks falling on many deaf ears.
It's 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. We'll take a break. Nasibuya sitawukhuluma misana na Fabrice Musonera ngetemidlalo. Asibinza sinimukele solubuka hlelo kusile breakfast show kusele 9 minutes kuthi shaya insimbi yesiphohlongo lesikhathi star ukhulumisana nensatheli yevete emidlalo kufaka abantu ngaleto betenteka kafishana nje kuleli viki bese sibuka naleto lekubheka ukuthi tenteke kulempela somvole siyakiyo. Good morning Fabrice, welcome to the show. So yes, mhlawumbe kubuka nje throughout the week ukuthi yini mhlawumbe nje longasinikete highlight ukuthi how was the week kuyo esports.
I think the latest news that football supporters, football fans will have to know that it's on. So say very sugire. It's Momo Cup this coming weekend on the 6th of November this year, this coming Sunday at the Somtro National Stadium. Remember, the games were supposed to be held last weekend, but due to other, issues that have matters that arise due to the fact that in Hotspurs, some of the players had left with the under-20 national team, so they applied they filed an application requesting that the games should be postponed, and as per rules, they were granted that. Urgent application. So the games are this weekend, and we will see things in Hotspurs facing Rangers. One would say it's a sort of your based clubs facing each other in the first game at 9 in the morning. Then in the second game at 11, you have Monini Pirates against Mpaban Highlanders. Then the winners of the two games, of course, will face each other in the final at 3 o'clock later on the day. We're talking about walking away with 600,000 just playing two games. I mean, for some of the teams, even for the likes of Nzingizini and your Rangers, they didn't even play a game. So if they're to win a game, you just play 90 minutes, you win 600,000. But you look at teams like Babane Highlanders had to fight off in the playoffs of the semi-finals. Moroni Pirates, also the supporters showing the improvement. So it's going to be quite interesting. So quite a few things that were highlighted by MTN Eswatini, the title sponsor, and the Premier League of Eswatini. Stadium. See, these are the beverages that you normally see during the games. So they have confirmed that there's nothing like that during the games. They won't be selling tickets at the stadium, which means with the system of buying tickets that is ongoing now, where you use your Momo, your mobile money, or you can buy to different Momo pay outlets. So you can only buy that. You cannot expect to go to Tafika Stadium and a ticket.
Have the address that issue ngakumbuka ukuthi my fans abekhala ukuthi bese abasakhona ukuthenga kahle mabafika egedeni. Have the address le issue le?
They have quite tried to address it. I still have concerns myself, but I think it's a new term, so we have to get used to it. The issues of people owing mobile money. Mobile money. So anything you put in, because you have already standing order, standing debt. So they have explained that just buy in time and make sure that you don't get to the stadium and expecting to buy the ticket there, because most of the time ticket get in stadium. Now then you complain that why are there not many people to assist us? Because you could have bought the ticket prior. Fans have a say, yes, I get them, but the league and the MTN title sponsor also, they have a point to say the arrangements should be done prior. From Wednesday, from Tuesday, you knew good see Highlanders now we support, morning now we support Iatlan. So you shouldn't wait for Sunday to buy the ticket. Just buy it prior. I understand you might not have the money at the moment, but make arrangements to make sure that you don't frustrate yourself and others at the stadium. Otherwise, it's on. And it's going to be one of the beautiful editions. Having a grand finale at the Somplo National Stadium, a venue that we haven't seen hosting such, day of this magnitude from 9 o'clock up to 5 o'clock. Highlighted also that there is a bit of entertainment within the games. So it's going to be a fun-filled day for the teams and for the football supporters.
Right. So apart from the Momo Cup, what else can we look out for this weekend?
As I think you saw on the news, we're moving in Greater Heights. The Eswatini Olympic Commonwealth Games Association, yesterday they signed an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, an official one, with the Russian Boxing Federation, where that MOU states that our top boxer Tabiso Dlamini will be training for a period of 12 months in Russia in preparations for the 2024 Paris Games. What does that say? It says we've seen in different competitions, whenever some athletes here to kubo Olympics na Commonwealth Games kubanele complain ukuthi vele they don't get enough preparations angeke utitshele ukuthi utajimela labo matsapa kamanzini uhambe uyocompete nemhlaba ukuthi wena you come home with a medal. We've tried to mix them Pretoria, South Africa, which is the nearest high performance center, but the results have not been good. The only proof that we have that take them where the best are. We've tried with Subsiso Swaziport Matsenjo as a country, and we saw how he was so near yet so far to get something for the country. So the moves have also been made for other sporting codes, your boxing, cycling, swimming, and also touch on athletics. So for Thabiso to go Russia, if you look at the rankings in terms of some of the well-known countries when you talk about boxing, Russia is up there amongst the best. So he'll be at the performance center in Russia, training with some of the best coaches, using some of the best facilities. And I'm looking at his age, could be probably his last Olympics. Maybe that's why you would say he needs to give us something before he, he decides to stop the game or to hang his boat. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a beautiful one. So this partnership also, one would say credit to Pearl Dlamini. It was facilitated by her because she's a member of the International Boxing Association Board of Directors. So her being there, it's already bearing fruits for the country. So congratulations for Thabiso and the IOGA at large to ensure that Thabiso has got this ongoing scholarship. We did talk to her during the weekend. He highlighted that, you know what, it's helping, it's making sense for him, and he's enjoying his moment in Russia.
All right, thanks so much, Fabrice, for that update, and thank you so much, Mbugeli, for joining us today on the show. Sibonga kakhulu ukuthi ube nathi lo mhlakiseni kungolesihlanu sicala yena imphelasomo for sethemba ukuthi indaba imphelasomo lenhle nalabo sisekile. We'll see you on Friday. Thank you so much.